W.T.F. Nation Radio
is in the house.
Freedom is the right of all sentient beings.
Broadcasting live from the basement of the Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Do you ever have one of those moments where you think, how the hell did I get here? Jeez, what happened to me? I was ruling the galaxy, had a cherry new battle station. I mean, this place had an omelet bar, a straight-up omelet bar. And now look, my former intern's tossing me down a bottomless freaking pit. You know, come to think of it, my whole life has been a series of what the moments. That was my out.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
I looked my woman in the eye sockets. I told her straight out. I just said it, man. I said it. I said, bitch, I'm the man of the house.
Yeah, you said bitch, though. You called your wife a bitch.
Yeah.
This is a public service announcement from C.T. Fletcher. I will not contribute to the pussification of a nation. Get your punk ass out there and work for it, motherfucker.
Let's roll.
What is going on? Damn. My flow is all fucked up. WTF Moments, WTF Nation Radio. Holy shit.
I don't even know what I'm doing here now.
Okay, real quick. So if you're listening to us on all the other platforms, that's cool. We got 2 YouTube pages and we got X. But for some reason, our Facebook pages are not allowing us to broadcast. I don't know what's going on. So there it is. If it pops up and then it comes up, then hey, you know, happy to send. But right now, currently, we're just, I don't know, just sending data, just seeing what's up. It's kind of weird because now I feel like we're in the void. I feel like we're just now we're just talking in the void. But we have
never know.
Yeah, we got some fans up in the X app though, so I mean they can check us out. But I just
we occasionally get some few that are hanging out on the tubes as well.
Yeah, we got some tubers as well. So it just sucks because for some reason, Facebook isn't cooperating right now with some of the streaming. I'm like, what's going on? What did we do? What? No, I'm looking through all the notes here, and I'm like, did I shit post on something that I shouldn't have shit posted on? Did I? Let me see.
It's a joint psyop between the Kamala or the Kamala party and the MAGA party to silence truth and criticism from WTF Nation.
Whoa, that's kind of harsh. That's kind of harsh. Yeah, who knows? So real quick, we'll like I said, we'll continue the show. We'll work the tech stuff later. But it's just for some reason it's not. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I got it. 4, 5. Yeah, I'm looking at all the 5 channels right here. So, yeah, what's going on? I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. I you know. Oh wait, someone's just somebody was like, conspiracy theory, conspiracy theory.
What I said. That's what I said.
Yeah, I'm kidding. If I was a conspiracy theorist, yeah, I'm just like kind of like there's something's. I don't know, I feel a disturbance in the force. You know what I'm saying? It's just kind of like.
Well, there's been a lot on the back end tech wise at WTF Nation as of late. A suspicious amount of things, in my opinion.
You know what makes me mad though is that it's like, come on out and say it. Come on out. Just come on, Cletus. Come on. You know, I got a comment. If you are a rap group still saying your name, if you're still saying your name would be a little Guadi. Yeah, this is really weird. I've never seen this before. Where Facebook and I did a reboot, did everything else, did everything right. You know, everything's all good to go. All the streams are going good. It's just plugging into there, but for some reason, I don't know what's going on. I don't even want to know what. Maybe it was a Ooh, I wonder if it's the title that I put.
Ooh.
Let me see
Perhaps.
something. Let me see something. I wonder if it was the title that I put on here. See, maybe it'll be. Because you know what, that could be it too.
Getting zucked before you even start.
Yeah, I'm about to say. Let me see something right quick. Yeah, I mean, we're just gonna wrap along here.
Okay.
But I think because I put it in the title, a sexual assault case is what I put in the title.
Yep, that could very well be it. Interesting.
And that probably didn't allow me to do it. Change the title. Let me change the title. Somebody says watching on YouTube just feels dirty. Yeah, this is
that.
Yeah, like I said, let me see what happens if I change it on
That's interesting though.
on the radio pages. Let's see.
I had a comment removed on Instagram the other day and got pulled down for bullying by their AI algorithm and got a warning.
Yeah, it sucks because what we're going to be talking about, a sexual assault case today with the individual who was sexually assaulted. So it's kind of like it's a topic that we need to discuss, and it involves the Indiana National Guard. So
right,
it's going to be a
heavy one.
Yeah, it's going to be a heavy one. But speaking of the, let me see if we're broadcasting just fine on the Twitter app, because again, yeah, we're fine, just fine on Twitters. We were just fine on the Twitters. So, hey man, it didn't even put my, I don't know what's going on this app right now, dude. So
yeah,
it didn't even put me. Yeah, it's like that. Whatever. That's so crazy. I even removed some channels and added some channels, removed some other old channels and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah. Nothing showing. So that's kind of weird. I feel like there is a conspiracy.
Maybe
a conspiracy. Anyways, so I mean, well, shit. Since we're on one of the most since we're on YouTube, we're broadcasting. That's no big deal because YouTube and on the YouTubes we're good. And X app, I'm gonna tell you what, X is where all the drama is at. And did you see the big white women for Harris Zoom call on?
No.
Yes. Holy crap! It was It was a pretty big. It was a very white event.
Oh, I would imagine so.
It was a quite white event. Please drop all your white jokes in there. But holy crap! It was a white woman Zoom, and it was to the point to where it literally was a. Whew, I mean, hang on. Let me window cap this thing here. This is the widest of the widest of white that you can white. I never seen so many white women in one spot. I mean, just kind of like, wow, dude. It's a lot of white women. There you go. Let me change it up. Look at all
Damn.
That's a lot of white women. So you have some influencers there. You have some congresswoman. You have Megan Rapinoe. You have Shannon Watts. Yeah. You see a lot of moms. A lot of just white. Just I'm gonna say it. The white. The person that posted said these white women don't see minorities as autonomous agents. They're not feeling subservient while refraining from correcting them. They are reinforcing themselves at the top of the hierarchy. So.
Yeah, I mean, really, you're looking at a big box of white saviors. That's
oh
really,
my god,
yeah.
So check this. So check this out.
Ariel Fodor, affectionately known as Mrs. Frazzle, to her combined audience of over 1.5 million followers, is here to help gentle parent us through this election.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. I am so honored to speak today.
How is she talking with just her teeth? That's very strange.
Be among such incredible company.
Aww.
We are here because, as if you were here earlier, you've heard BIPOC women have tapped us in as white women to step up, listen, and get involved this election season. This is a really important time, and we all need to use our voices and influence for the greater good. No matter who you are all influencers in some way. So tonight, I'm going to share some do's and don'ts for getting involved in politics online and navigating the toxicity that comes with it. And spoiler alert, as much as the toxicity can come from the outside, it can come from us too.
This hurts.
Woo! Doggy. Oh, man.
The only thing I got from that is I really need to start talking with my hands more when we're talking on the show here. I need to be a lot more
exactly.
animated. I just got really blue. That was weird.
Just like the fake picture. Exactly that. Simon says he feels stupider now. Look, man. Okay, hang on.
Over 1.5 million followers is here to help gentle parent us through this.
This right here is what gets you right.
Masturbation challenge accepted, sir.
Oh my god, dude. Why? It's all the time. Anytime anytime some boxed wine women post some stuff like this, I always end up getting fucking a lot of questions. Hey Ken, how do you feel about this? How do you feel like about that? How do you feel Branko says like 1.5 million followers online is nothing nowadays because of alt and AI accounts. Exactly that. It doesn't really matter. You notice that we weren't airing on the Facebook pages, which is okay because anytime Facebook, well, I should say this, anytime Meta can destroy your page for whatever reason.
Right.
And probably because we were shit posting about some other stuff. That's kind of crazy. We're not authorized to stream, which is kind of weird. But anyways, I always get questions from my fellow white friends, and they ask me as hey, Ken, you're Mexican. How do you feel about this? How do you feel? And I'm like,
you are the voice of Latinx.
Yeah, exactly. Ken, you're Latinx. What does this mean? And why do white women talk like this to you? Dude, I honestly don't feel like fucking. I don't think this is helping. This is not. You have this, and then you have white. You had the white women, and then you had the white dudes for Harris. Now, could you imagine what would happen? Could you imagine what would happen if all of a sudden we had white dudes for Trump?
White, we kind of do. But,
well, yeah. I mean, just saying, but white, or white women for Trump.
Right.
What if Latinos decided to do wetbacks for Trump?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, just saying. What do you think would happen? People would immediately start to the groups would come out and start attacking everybody for even creating this. And like she just said, Ariel Fodor, it's going to create some toxicity within. I don't know, dude. I'm going to say this is some divisive ass shit. I don't agree to this crap at all. You are, if anything else, you are creating more division by segregating. I'm gonna start res rats for Trumps or something. Yeah, I'm gonna start segregating yourselves like this. Then all it's gonna do is just create animosity between the different groups. it's bad enough that we're dealing with boxed wine liberal white women to begin with, but now that's like white dudes for Trump or white dudes for Harris. I mean, could you imagine just white dudes for Trump? People immediately think what? White supremacist, right? Everyone would think, oh shit, this person's a Nazi because they're talking about whatever for Trump.
Yeah,
I'm kind of done with it. It's at this point. I just want all this. Fuck it. I just want all this shit to burn down. Fuck it. Just fuck it. Politics are just getting so fucking stupid now. Now we have, all the drama that's happening with President Biden currently wanting to immediately impose term limits. Like, dude, where the fuck were you at 4 years ago? Where were you at when all this shit started? You're just doing this now.
4 years ago, he was thinking a little more clearly. That's where he was 4 years ago. 4 years. Dementia's hard, man.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say due to the fact that, hey, look, man, this is divisive. This is divisive.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, there are white dudes for Harris. Oh, here we go. People are gonna try to fact check me. White dudes for Harris. I can't believe this. I can't believe I'm even fucking sharing this. My God. There we go. Look, white dudes for Harris. That exists.
God, and that is one of the shittiest logos I've ever seen.
Fucking white dudes for. I mean, anytime, and of course, I'm just purely breaking balls to the Democratic Party, but they don't do too well when it comes to the white only thing. They don't do too well for the white dudes in rallying white. Ooh, did I just say that? Rallying whites together. They've been known for shit like that. So to me, it's just like, God damn, who thought of this? Who thought it was a good idea to do? And B, why would anybody would have said, yeah, this is gonna be good. This will be all right.
Yeah, this is the great idea.
Yeah, exactly. Let's just do it. Let's just do it.
I don't think there's anything that really exists in 2024 politics that isn't meant to be divisive in one way or another. I think that's an angle for most of it in some way, subliminally or overtly.
Yeah. I don't know. 44 years ago, I was calling out politicians to their face and holding account here local. Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, it's something's amiss here. Something in society is amiss. Either these groups that like to talk about being BIPOC. BIPOC is somebody told me what it was before. It was the matter of fact. I just want to double check what BIPOC means. So, I swear this is not a joke. This is not a I want to get the acronym correct. It is an acronym for Black Indigenous People of Color. So that's what it means. So that's what it means. So that feels
like a very repetitive acronym.
Black Indigenous People of Color. And I think what they're saying is that they're highlighting blacks, they're highlighting the indigenous, and then people of color is like the rest. It's just the rest. They want to say Black, Indigenous, Asian, Latino,
right?
Indian.
They can't tread on the LGBTQ acronym.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, they can't cut in on the acronyms with all the letters to it. So yes, that's what it means. It means Black Indigenous People of Color. And I'm thinking, dudes, why is there white women? Again, that's that's like a butcher standing in front of a fucking cow explaining how hamburgers are made. It's dude, what are you doing? This not only is this divisive, it also immediately then it puts white liberals in a bracket to where they're the authorities of speaking to somebody. Like they're the authority of them to speak. Now, all I saw was the white women one. I didn't see the dudes, the white dudes for Harris talk. I didn't see that one. And it's again, it's
well, I mean, I guess, but white women for Harris is I guess, a better name than like Cunts for Kamala. So I'll give him that much.
I think. Are you doing this because we're not on Facebook now? We're just fucking just totally trolling the algorithms.
I'm just here being my best self.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just again, I think it's a bad idea. I think it's a bad idea to use this type of identity politics and to have individuals that are not of those colors or of those groups, ethnic groups, to have you. I just don't think it's fucking good. I just think if anything else, it's the worst fucking thing on the planet to do. And I can't believe that, again, somebody thought of it to say it was a good idea.
Right.
It was HK 416 is the talking stick that counts. Exactly. Hose for Harris. There's another one.
That's better than mine. Yeah.
Everyone's talking about the hose for Harris. Are they women splaining to women? No, actually, they're Latino splaining. They're black splaining. They're splaining. it just seems so fucking cringe and out of it. It
really sends the message that regardless of gender, if a white person doesn't explain it properly, that the rest of you probably aren't going to be able to get it well enough to vote.
Right. And exactly that. It almost provides that message of, without white women, us Latinos are not going to be able to negotiate the political field. Without white women, blacks will be. I'm telling you, dude. It's like, what? Yeah. So now you're saying that white.
Yeah.
White women,
no, I was agreeing with you. Yeah.
Yeah. White women are. I'm telling you what, Massey. White women are white liberal women, man. Do I need to pull up that one thing? What was the biggest? What do you think the biggest thing to the black community? And it's that one black woman that says white women with the internet connection. It's a fucking shock, man. I'm literally cannot.
Yeah. Spectacular. That's the word that comes to mind.
I cannot. Can I get a shout out to my daughter, Pork Chop? Of course. Happy birthday, Pork Chop, from the W.T.F Nation. There you go.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Yeah, I'm kind of like, I'm not looking forward to all this white woman splaining. And it sounds bad me saying it. I mean, you have to think about how you're saying it.
Yeah.
I have white women now explaining to me how to be Latino.
I hope you're taking notes.
I might. I need to. I'm gonna write this shit down. I need to get a pair of, maybe get a pair of white women's. Do they have merch?
as you hear Beyonce crying in the background, who runs the world?
White women. I mean, think about it. You can actually go into several scenarios here, and you just add white women to the end of it, and it sounds fucking racist. Well, it is fucking racist. It's like I said, it's playing the identity politics that we don't need right now. Now, if anything else, is making it worse.
Yep. But I mean, really hasn't, in general, most American politics and political movements boiled down to identity politics in the last probably decade? Oh, yeah, I would say that's the vast majority of it.
Oh yeah, big time.
Oh.
Big time. I think a lot of it also has to do with the fact that they always try to grab the votes of that specific group, and they promise everything and anything for those groups. And then once they get elected, not a fucking thing happens to help any of those groups. Which is why a lot of the news that you see, a lot of the guys that are saying they're against Kamala Harris, they would rather vote for Trump. It's almost like, as well as that, I wish, as a voter, I wish there was somebody else other than Kamala Harris to have been the Democratic nominee. That's just the way it is. Yeah. I wanted to see who was going to come up with Trump, because obviously the administration that had her involved in it, I'm kind of fucking sketchy. The fact that she knew all along that the current president was all fucked up, and was, well, not her knowing, we all fucking knew, and then taking up for it, and then the next thing you know, we're thinking, okay, well, shit, if he's not going to be running, then who's going to be the next person? And we're thinking, yeah, let's see who else is going to be, the Democratic nominee. The next thing you know, oh yeah, we held a digital convention, virtual. It was virtual. We have
thanks for letting everybody know that, as we send our constituents out, to do these things that just do it for us. We don't need to know. It's cool. It's totally fine.
Yeah.
Sneaking on in.
Well, I mean, when you kind of think about it, it was all white women. It's kind of funny. White women have come out of the woodwork to tell us how to be as Latinos or blacks or whatever, or how to explain to us all that. But they weren't willing to have the fucking big Zoom call for the vice president to be quote unquote nominated.
Right. Well, I mean, you say all this, but in all fairness, white women have been telling me what to do for most of my life. So, welcome to my world. God damn it!
I shall commiserate in suffering with you because I have a white mother. So it's like I do have a white side of me. So yeah, it's fucked up. I really fucking think that it was a bad idea for them to do this. White dudes or white women, it's just now they're just seeing it's just like, dude, now all of a sudden you feel like fucking, and I knew everyone says TikTok was a bad idea. TikTok was this. You have one of the main leading individuals on TikTok who talks to everybody like they're infants. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, dude, so all right, let's see you cook up some tacos and carne asada. Let's see you make some beans and rice. Since you want to, shaft for president because he's one bad motherfucker. Shut your mouth. Exactly. Oh, I'm sorry. I finished the thing, but yeah, it's just fucking frustrating. It's almost as frustrating as us not being able to broadcast on fucking Facebook right now.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was. When I put sexual assault on there, I think that's probably what it was.
Yeah.
I think because I'm looking at the Ho Chi Minh Husits, and it's nothing. Nada.
Wow.
Nada. Which, what can you do? Speaking of elections, did you hear about Venezuela?
No, I did not hear about Venezuela.
Yeah, dude, Venezuela.
What's going on down in Venezuela?
Yeah, supposedly there were some elections, and then those elections, President Maduro got was ousted, I guess you would say, in a fair election.
Right.
And then the next thing you know, that's it. Then he's like, nah, I'm president still.
Just kidding.
Just kidding. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya.
Wow.
So yeah, it's just like, oh man.
It's about time for the CIA to send some operatives down there to topple another regime.
Ooh.
What?
Can we say that?
I can say that.
I don't know why I'm being quiet about it. Fucking A. It's not like I'm about to say. It's not like we fucking didn't. We didn't see this coming. There's protests currently going on in Venezuela, as millions of people have taken to the streets because of the protest against Maduro. I thought those two Green Berets overthrew. You're talking about Silver Corp. You're talking about the attempted coup. Like a friend of mine said, if they would have been Gold Corp, then it'd have been a different outcome. So instead, it was Silver Corp. So protests, of course, have swept all across Venezuela after Maduro had announced that he'd won the election. And so now demonstrators are tearing down images and statues of him, demanding his resignation. And they've been blocking traffic at the Hugo Chavez to tearing down monuments for him too. So it's like, yeah. Wow. Let me see. Let's see what's going on. Let me see. There we go. Oh, this is there we go. Let me pop this one up. There we go. So no sound. I mean, if you can't speak Spanish, then no big deal. I'm not gonna sit there and play the noises for you and stuff like that. Faye says it's time for the Red Empire to do that extended foreign training opportunity. I don't know, man. I don't know the way SF has been going there, Faye. I think maybe it might be an SFAB job. Ooh. So apparently they're having issues tearing the statue down because I was waiting for the shit to tear down.
It's a hardly built statue.
I'm about to say that was a good. That statue was pretty fucking built. White women for Maduro. Yeah, exactly that. Is there going to be a Zoom call for the white women there? And that, again, that's probably why, again, yes, I know when I'm on Facebook, probably because I put in the title sexual assault. I bet you that's what it is.
Yeah, either that statue is very well built or Venezuelans are incredibly weak. I don't know which.
Yeah, I would say that. I don't know. It looks like there's a bunch of them right there. Tearing it down. They're slowly taking it down.
There we go.
There we go. There we go. Torn down.
Yeah, but I like to picture that statue is probably made of paper mache, and they're just having that much of a struggle pulling it down. But it's funny. It's funnier to me.
No, it is funny. So let's see. Here we go. These are armed groups shooting protesters in Venezuela. Let me shoot another one here. Fuck it. Since we're getting zucked left and right, why not fucking just go for it? There we go. Stuff happening there. Look at people just getting capped.
That's crazy.
So the election results are, I guess, there was a picture that I saw on social media where the voting center had these graphs and these pie charts on both sides of the wall, and in doing so, revealed that Maduro had lost. And so I'm like, oh damn, dude, deja vu to that's a good point too. Yeah, exactly that, Branko. Deja vu to Saddam's statue coming down.
Yeah. Man.
See this other one right here. All right, here's some more Venezuelans. There we go. Yeah, they look pretty pissed off.
Yeah.
So who knows? Like you said, who knows who's going to
take advantage of the current situation?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, here's another thing too. Is like, I was about to say, I'm trying to find this where somebody election center where somebody had like I said, the slides up. And I'll be honest with you, if the slides are coming up like that, I don't want to sit there and ask. I don't want to ask questions here, but here it is. And this may sound kind of funny, and people might get butthurt when I say this, but can we get, since here it is right here where I was telling you about the two screens where you were seeing where people were losing, can we get like Venezuela to fucking see our shit? Can we ask them what kind of machines they used?
Right,
because they were able to get that shit pretty fucking quick.
Yeah.
So it was his opposition that you could see on the blue side. You could see in different quadrants, different types of areas where he was defeated like big time.
Yeah,
and they did it all in a day. So now there are different voting nodes, different voting centers that have had their and their announcement. They're like at each center they're holding up their phone and they're going on loudspeaker saying, "Hey, we at this voting center Maduro lost. At this voting center, so and so lost. Maduro lost."
Right.
So again, I'm kind of like asking questions. I know some other people are asking questions too. Just not whatever. I mean, fuck the way people are working with with talking about election fraud / or the same thing with people who are denying the ear truthers. Have you heard of that new term now?
Ooh, ear truther. Oh yeah.
The ear truthers are now the individuals that have had a doubts that that former President Trump wasn't hit. And so I'm kind of like, yeah. All right. So
you never know. You never know these days.
Well, are we going to like go down this rabbit hole of saying that he wasn't hit? Then that means we can say there wasn't an insurrection, right? Or now we could say that there wasn't the election was stolen, right? Can we say that?
No, 100%.
Yeah. Yep. So anyway, we're gonna take a break right quick, and then we'll be right back. And then once we come on, we will be. We'll be shooting the shit. So I might have misspoke on some things. It's not going to be the individual that it happened to. So I'll jump on here. We'll get some music rolling, and then again, I don't know what's going on with fucking Facebook. I don't know why like I said, it had to have been the titles that I put in there, because I know anything that has to do with bad words, Facebook will immediately let you play it. So we're gonna take a break, and we'll be right back. So shots.
If that's really a thing, and I get authorized to do it once, it's pretty much gonna be me sitting there talking shit like constantly.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Take it from me, Ice. You can't just float around space not caring about stuff forever.
The voice of U.S. Army. WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Shit in the bag, Pogue.
All you trekkies and TV addicts, don't mean to this, don't mean to bring static. All you Klingons in your grandma's house, grab your backstreet friend and get loud, blowing doors off inches, grab you with the pinches. And no, I didn't retire, I'll snatch you off with the needle nose pliers.
Like a racing with the bass so not goofy like they're in a haste so I'm a hip-hop making it nice with practice me running that you know we'll drive our ships to new land fight the home sing and cry Valhalla I am coming controlling my mind like ice on a rat that you could fly. Now, hey, nigga, but now what the deal? I didn't know you go for that mass appeal. So I'm calling to Lucci, some my potato. I stole your mic, but you won't see it later. Cause I work magic like a magician. I add up the mathematician like the bank cashier, engineer. I wear cotton and I don't wear shirt. Always sweet with catching on.
She say I'm an abracadabra. In the whip, I'm going to cruise past ya. Don't money, don't jump yourself. Put that back on the shelf. Flames blazing, yeah, I phase in. My crew's amazing. We're working on the record, y'all, so just stay patient. Check it out. What's it all about? We're working out. Let's turn this party out. Check it out. What's it all about?
Now I go by the name of the King Admiral. I don't wear a cup nor a job. I bring the that's beyond bizarre, like Miss Piggy. I am the one with the clientele. You say Ad Rock, you rock so well. I got class like pink champagne. Let's see, ain't got the microphone, the mic goes stale. Always see, especially now. I want to know what makes the rest of the show.
What is this Facebook Live? I've never heard of this shit.
I am here determined to stop this future atrocity.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe. I suggest we use it.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
And we're back. Hey, just real quick, just let everybody know that we're going to be talking about some serious topics and some serious content. And matter of fact, I'll just let my guest introduce himself. And hey, welcome to the Monday edition, man.
Hey, how's it going? So my name's Aaron Watson, and I've taken a lot of labels here in the past couple months, but I guess today I'll be the whistleblower for a sexual assault that has taken place.
This involves the Indiana Army National Guard, correct?
Yes, sir, it does.
How did you come about this, or how did this come to your lap, basically?
So I guess to fit me in the story, I probably have to, go over some of my background. So I used to be a member of the Indiana Army National Guard, joined in 2015, just a peacetime baby soldier, haven't been deployed or anything. Got into recruiting very early, probably 3 years after I enlisted, and was very successful at it. I'm good at sales, so that's where I cut my teeth in AGR. Was in the Indiana Army National Guard as a recruiter there. Made expert badge 79 Tango. So once that's achieved, guys that are in the game know that they can really go anywhere they want to. So then I ended up ISTing down to Kentucky and continuing my successful career down here in recruiting as well. And then during that whole time, I've maintained a sworn police officer status in the state of Indiana as well, in a reserve status, obviously, because I'm full-time AGR. But that's kind of my position from my background.
Gotcha. Okay. So this story was originally broke by Real News Michiana, and reporter Clifton French got down to the weeds of this, and it's actually it's a pretty good freaking article. Actually, I rarely, when it comes to sexual assault cases, do you get this level of detail. And so, could you tell us how he got involved?
So we have some mutual friends. Clifton used to be in the Guard as well. He's an investigative journalist. And once I start having big issues with this and kind of putting it out there, so many people reached out to me wanting to help me. Multiple news agencies reached out wanting to do the interview and kind of break it. And I, because of our mutual friends, I thought it was fitting to let him take the initial interview and break the story because of his background and how passionate he was or is still today about, investigative journalism and uncovering government corruptions and cover-ups. And this is right up his alley. So I just thought it was fitting that I give it to him first. I do have some other interviews lined up, but he got first dibs for sure.
No, I understand. Also, there was a as soon as I think it was your Facebook post that hit it grew. I mean, I think one night we got about 15 fucking messages about you, and there has been some there's some attacks on you as the whistleblower. Can you go into a little bit of that?
Yeah, and that was honestly, I've kind of asked myself the whole time the past couple months, like, why am I in this position? Why am I going through this? And maybe it's because I'm the guy in the equation so far that is not willing to just lay down on this, or maybe I'm just the guy that they pushed a little too far. I was essentially the last piece of the puzzle for this cover up to take place. As the article reads, there was many soldiers already negatively disciplined based on something I did. So I was the final piece of the puzzle. I had to be guilty of something to make this whole cover up kind of happen. So that's what they went with, and they've tried to fire me from my full-time status.
All right. Well, fuck. Let's talk about the event, the assault. What was the? How did you come across this information about the assault itself?
So I'm not a lawyer, but quick kind of a jargon explanation of how protective orders work in the state of Indiana. It is a public record, right? So when you get a protective order against somebody in Indiana, you have to fill out a petition to the court and basically say, hey, this is my argument why I need a protective order. And I have to sign my name to it publicly. Otherwise, ex-girlfriends could make a bunch of random anonymous complaints, and all these guys would have protective orders and all the issues that would come about that. So a soldier, another recruiter in Indiana, filled out a petition for a protective order. That petition was signed the next day by the judge in an ex parte fashion. So what that means is the judge looked at it and immediately issued it without talking to the alleged suspect. Now, that happens a lot because if you're that descriptive and you're willing to sign your name, hey, this happened to me, and if I'm lying, I can get in, big legal trouble.
Right.
People don't just make that shit up. Also, when that's issued, the alleged suspect has 30 days to say, whoa, that didn't happen. That's a lie. Hire an attorney, request a hearing. They can request the judge seal the record because it's, slander or false, and you can fight it in court. So this protective order, uncontested, did not even have an attorney, set a hearing, just, hey, yep, the protective order is issued, and the alleged suspect had nothing to say. Got served and never contested it. So I get a phone call one day from one of my former supervisors, who also used to be a police officer in Indiana. He was concerned. He was like, hey, I think, his name's right here, Sergeant Major Yates. I don't think Sergeant Major Yates can come to work because he's got a protective order against him. I just need some advice. Maybe you can validate that. And I was able to validate it. I was like, yeah, you're absolutely right. And the judge signed a protective order, and here's all the public documents. So I sent him a picture of the incident narrative that's on the petition, right? So this is what the victim wrote. It reads like a police report. It says incident 1 on this date, XYZ happened, right? And that's public record. Anybody can go get that from the courthouse. That's how our records work here in Indiana. So I sent him that. I said, hey, here's the evidence of what happened. Here's what he says happened. And I sent that because, per the Army SHARP policy, we're mandated to report evidences of sexual assault.
Correct.
And I've also learned that that's a protected communication. Like you're allowed to make that. So I sent that and said, hey, here's the evidence of sexual assault. Here's what the guy said happened to him. The record is at the Porter County Courthouse. You guys can go get a full copy and get everything you need. And by the way, you should run this up the chain of command, and you should probably call PAO because this shit's gonna be on the news, right? I left that state several months ago, but heads up, guys. Like you should probably get ahead of this.
Right.
So to me, that's another day. I did nothing wrong. It's a public order. It's public record. I could have posted it on Facebook and tagged all the guard pages. I'm like, look what your sergeant major's doing, right? But I get it. I mean, that's kind of fucked up. So yeah, I sent it to him. I said, here you go. So that night it's over, and I don't think anything of it. I don't think it's a big deal at all.
Right.
I'm thinking, hey, I gave them what they asked for. Driving on. Well, the assault was the alleged sergeant major was the North Region Recruiting Retention Battalion sergeant major. So he's got friends. I guess some friends that maybe wanted to try and sweep this under the rug. And I think if anyone's been in the Army or the military, we know you can't talk about it. If it's a restricted or unrestricted case, you can't gossip. Basically, we scare everybody into shutting the fuck up. Right? That's the goal. Is no one talk about it. No one's allowed to talk about it. Everybody knows about it. Everybody's talking about it behind the scenes.
Exactly.
Everybody knows what's going on.
Exactly.
But you're not allowed to say anything. So shut up. So fast forward to May 8th, several months later, and I'm getting called in to be flagged for a commander's investigation.
Why? You know what I mean? What was the reason why they
yeah.
Why? You know what I mean? It's a rhetorical question. I mean, I know fucking why.
Exactly. Yeah, that was the magic question. And it wasn't a, hey, heads up, this is the info we got. We got to flag you for this. We know you did the right thing. Like, that's what I would expect, right? No, it was a, hey, show up here tomorrow. Okay, well, why? Well, we can't tell you. Come on. Like, I'm like, all right, well, this is a disciplinary action. I have no idea what's going on. It wasn't even on my radar. Like, when you do something in the gray area, you're like, oh, shit. You think I figured out that?
Exactly.
Right? You think it's for this?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
you're fucked, man. I'm fucked.
Yeah, you start calling around. You're like, hey, did you tell anybody about that?
Exactly. That was some E4 Mafia shit, bro. Why are you talking? Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
So I legitimately have no clue why I'm being called in. So when I'm like, hey, if I'm getting flagged, like, that'll be in the counseling. I've seen a million flag counselings. I've been flagged for something disciplinary before. Say, hey, you're flagged, height and weight failure. Cool. I know what's going on. So I go into this counseling session, and my first sergeant's there. Commander's not there, but the first sergeant's doing this because he has signature authority. Okay. The counseling was typed on location in about 5 minutes. It was super jacked up. And per the regulation, we know counselings need to contain 3 things. Why you're being counseling for a flag specifically. Correct. Right? So you've got the flag document says, hey, you're flagged. Here's the flag code. Counseling. The counseling has to contain why you're flagged, what you can do to get unflagged, and what you're prohibited from doing. And I'm in recruiting, so this is a post violation, which is like everything. You breathed wrong, so you can't go to recruiting now. Sorry, you can't be around 17-year-old kids in high school.
Exactly. Yeah, because for what the audience doesn't know, recruiters have what's called a position of trust documents that are normally accorded to their packets. But But it didn't just get. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm going to jump ahead. But so after you got the counseling, what did you say when you got it presented in front of you?
So I got it, and I'm like, guys, in writing, typed in here, it says you will not attempt to research why you're being investigated, and it was missing why I was flagged and what I could do to get unflagged. But it says I was prohibited from doing nothing. Like, oh, you're fine, you can go back to work. Like, what did I do? We can't tell you. What are the charges? Well, we're not going to tell you. You brought me here to tell me you're not going to tell me, and then told me that I can't figure out why. And at the time, I kind of had an idea, but I had to go back and do research. That's like IG restriction, because I specifically asked when I left there. I was like, "So you're giving me a direct order. I'm gonna get in trouble if I go find out why I'm being investigated." I'm like, "Oh yeah, don't go calling around HQ. Don't go sniffing around and trying to figure out why you're being investigated." I'm like, "What planet are we on? If I hire an attorney or hire IG, they're gonna make a phone call and be like, "Hey, you're flagged for this."
Right.
Like, you're flagged because somebody's hit you. You punch Johnny in the face at the bar, right?
There's
like
there's a code that goes
supposed
with
to be
it.
in the counseling.
Yeah. There's a code that goes along with it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So they say, well, you're flagged for an investigation, and then they had investigation and inquiry, which for people who don't know, that's two separate things in the same counseling. So yeah, I'm confused. I'm like, okay, is this an inquiry or an official 15-6 investigation? Because one I can get in trouble for, and one I can't. So which one is it? They're like, well, it's just an inquiry, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I didn't know at the time this was just part of this idea to keep me in the dark. First sergeant said he didn't know what was going on. Commander said he didn't know what was going on. Everybody's like, oh, no one knows. You're just flagged for some investigation that nobody knows about.
Oh, God.
And as a police officer, I'm like, okay, this is jacked up.
Yeah.
This is really jacked up.
So
they flag me, but their whole idea is to keep me in the dark. Well, you think I'm not going to go find out?
Of course.
Like, what's going on?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah, immediately. Like that's your whole life now.
Yeah.
Because if it told me off the bat, I'd have been like, oh, I got nothing to worry about. I'm fine. I'll go back to work.
Right.
Sure.
Right.
But you can't go back to work and have this thing hanging over your head with stress that you don't know. Like, do I need to be looking for another job? Is it something crazy? Did somebody say I like touched some kid at a high school?
Well,
because that happens in recruiting.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is that point is that for your specific job, any flag is an immediate flag to remove you from that position, and until the investigation, quote unquote, is complete. So, and I find it fucking hard to believe that they didn't know what the fuck they knew exactly what the fuck they were flagging you for.
I think so.
But it got interesting when you left. What happened after you left? After you got a bolo put on you, right?
Yeah. So that's
or is that fast forwarded further into the?
That's about 2 steps ahead. We'll get to that.
Gotcha. Go ahead.
That's the crazy part.
Gotcha.
So in between that, I have no fucking clue what's going on. I just know I'm flagged. I'm thinking like, I'm like, somebody see me speeding my GSA, like, I'm like, I don't know, like what, I have no idea. So finally, like a month and a half go by, and I'm like, okay, this is getting out of hand. They're still not telling me. I've gone to my commander, I've gone to my sergeant major, I've gone to my battalion commander. They're not telling me what I'm being investigated for. I have TDS. I have TDS retained at this point.
Mm-hmm.
They won't tell my TDS attorney what I'm being flagged for. So I start calling around my old buddies in Indiana. I make one phone call to one soldier in Indiana. Hey, do you know why I'm being investigated? He kind of laughed. He's like, yeah, what do you mean you don't know? I'm like, no, I have no idea. And he kind of stopped. He's like, oh my God, do you really not know? I'm like, no, you're about to tell me right now over the phone. And like, he's like, oh my God, are you sitting down? He's like, dude, all of it, like a bunch of us have been questioned. There's been a bunch of people negatively counseled and disciplined. Like people have been investigated by an IO from Kentucky. We all assumed that they had all talked to you and that you'd obviously done something wrong, and we didn't understand it because here we are, like people are getting in trouble based on something you did.
Right.
And I'm like, what did
I do? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm like,
what the fuck
did I do, man?
Exactly.
And they're like, well, you released sensitive, confidential police reports. And then it hit me. I knew exactly what you're talking about. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I laughed. I was like, it's a public record, dude. There's nothing confidential about it.
Right.
And the story that had been concocted, because, you know, unless you knew where the court was to go ask, all you gotta do is call clerk. It's right on that. It's right on that website. I think it's shared in that article. For more information not found online, contact the local clerk's office.
Yeah, courts.
It'll
be
call them and
courts.
they'll mail you everything.
Yeah, .in.gov/courts. That's it says right there.
Yeah, they'll give you everything you need. So, but what had been concocted over the last 2.5 months at that point, I mean, this is like June 7th-ish, and I got flagged May, and this whole thing started in February. So from February to June, what had been concocted, because when I sent out the public record for it to be sent up the chain, and for the record, it did. It got sent from an E8 to another E8 to an E9,
right,
as it should, and then it exploded and got shared everywhere. But my point is, that's okay because it's a public record. That's fine that that happened. But there were people that were not happy with that. So the story was, because I sent a screenshot and not the entire document, at the top it says important, this is a public document. Because I sent a screenshot, it was like, well, what is that? That looks like a police report. Well, that must be a police report. You know, he's a cop. That's a police report. He's leaked confidential police reports. First of all, as a reserve cop who doesn't even do this full time, you think I have access to anything confidential? Second, that's 3 hours from my jurisdiction as a police officer. I don't even know if there's a police report or if one exists or if one got taken. I have no idea. It's county by county. I wouldn't have access to that anyway. So I run that by my PD. They're like, yeah, you didn't do anything wrong. I call the clerk. I'm like, hey, tell me I did something wrong. And they're like, no, like this is what it is. Matter of fact, you want to come get some certified copies? I'm like, yeah, I do. Went and got certified copies. And I'm like fighting myself at that point. I'm like, shit, did I do something wrong? I'm like, well, maybe the clerk forgot to redact something. Maybe he fucked up. Well, let me go check. No, didn't do a damn thing wrong.
Now you were talking about other people getting in trouble for this too, and being what were they getting in trouble for? What was the reason why they were getting questioned? Why they were getting in trouble?
So I'm getting a phone call as these people are getting counseled, and they're stacking the counselings up. Like, hey, you got to come in and get counseled. There's E8s getting counseled. The E9 they got counseled. They're negative directive counselings is what I've been told. I haven't had my hands on one yet, but I got called like as the people are coming out of the counseling, like, thanks, Watson, got us in trouble. And they're getting counseled essentially by the battalion commander, who's friends with the alleged suspect. This is none of your fucking business. And we already have a restricted Sharper EO investigation being conducted, and you're gossiping about it, and you're sharing confidential, sensitive information about these two individuals that was leaked by a police officer legally, right? So they're slandering me and all these counselings. So Watson did something wrong, but you just received it. So we can't really fire you or do anything hard to punish you. So instead, we're going to make you write an apology letter to both the victim and the suspect, who allegedly sexually assaulted this guy.
Yes, exactly. I'm like, what the fuck,
we will
dude?
Write him an apology letter for not minding your own fucking business. Not to be sent to them, to be sent to me to teach you a lesson. Because the battalion commander was at this point set to be removed and swept under the rug as of July 1. So you've got all these guys that are getting hit with these negative counseling, and here's what they're telling me. They're like, you know what? It's a negative counseling. It's going to get ripped up when she's gone. She's gone in 30 days. Like, I'm not going to fight this. I don't give a shit. Whatever. I'll chat GPT the apology letters and send them to her. Right. Don't give a shit. And she's going to be gone, and this is going to be gone. And it's a path of least resistance.
Right.
I've got them to, like, I don't agree with this counseling, but I'm signing that I don't agree. Well, I find out that these dudes are getting counseled as the last people are getting counseled. There's a couple left. And I'm like, you know, one of you guys need to go in there and record this counseling. Like, have it on tape. Indiana's a one-party state. You need to record this. So one of the soldiers goes in there and records the battalion commander and his company commander. And it's pretty nasty. and they essentially made him sign it under duress after he brought up the fact that it's a public record. I didn't do anything wrong. Watson didn't do anything wrong. They had no idea they were being recorded, and it's nasty. Like, it's not a recording that I would ever want released because it's embarrassing. And he went ahead and signed it under duress, and he called me afterwards. He's like, dude, he goes, I'm gonna have to go see the chaplain. He goes, and I listened to the recording, and they ganged up on him, and it was a shit show.
So it's pretty much like an interrogation. You will sign this type of shit.
Yeah, it was a threat, right? It was like, well, there's one or two ways this can go down. You can either agree to this counseling and write these fucking apology letters, or this can go another way, and you can, get the same treatment Watson's getting, essentially, right? Like, we're gonna hold you to XYZ standard, and they don't have anything. There's nothing to do. The guy received a protective order signed by a judge saying the judge is stating, hey, based on the preponderance of the evidence, a sex crime occurred. This guy's not allowed to show up to the workplace. So if you see Sergeant Major Yates out of Armory, call the fucking cops.
Yeah. And that's another thing too. They're not even talking about the assault itself. They're talking about, they're just talking about, look, it would be no different than us posting something on WTF Moments as hey, look, this is what we got. I mean, we posted it before. We posted DUI blotters before. No different. If you got it from online, you got it from online. It was public record. Real quick, let me just tell the audience here that according to the documents, a low-ranking male soldier claimed that 42-year-old Sergeant Major David Yates sexually assaulted him at his home, and Valparaiso, I don't want to fuck up that name.
Valparaiso.
Okay, I was close. Indiana, and the soldier will not name was under direct command at the recruiting command, and according to the court documents, the assault happened as Yates claimed he wanted to discuss plans regarding the soldier's position. And Yates talked to the soldier and getting drinks with him outside of work, and then under duress convinced the soldier to go back to his apartment where he alleged sexual assault occurred. God damn, dude.
Yeah. It's crazy. And you would think, and here was my mentality behind this, because the way they spun this to everybody, and this is the part that gets really dark. They're telling everybody that the reason they had to blow this up is because possibly the victim attempted suicide, and it's Watson's fault that this got out and the guy attempted suicide. And I can tell you, as someone who lost one of my best friends last year who left recruiting to suicide, that's really, really offensive for you to make that claim.
Fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah.
Super offensive to me for you to make that claim. And in reality, I think it's just the opposite. I think this guy knew exactly what he was doing by going to the court and, having a clerk explain to you, whatever you write on this can be on the news in the morning. Well, that's great, because now people are going to know what's going on, versus if I just go tell the Army that one of my superiors did something to me, and it could possibly get swept under the rug or turned into a restricted thing that no one gets to access to, and then no one ever knows about it. I mean, if I got somebody that actually is a sexual predator and is dangerous, I'm not going to the Army first. I'm going to the local law enforcement first.
Of course. Anybody would. A reasonably thinking person would. So July 10th, you were notified about charges and investigation into you.
Yeah, so that's what's crazy.
What fucking charges were they going to give you?
So I get flagged in May, and then fast forward to July 10th. That whole time, no one ever spoke to me and said, this is what the charges are, this is what you're being investigated for, this is what you're facing. Right. I had no idea until I'm finally scheduled for my first hearing, which I'm like, a first hearing? Like, what are we doing? Am I getting demoted? And my TDS is like, they're going to try and demote you because they don't have to court-martial that. They said that's exactly what happened. They'll go in and they'll say, hey, we're gonna bust your rank for some bullshit. And that's what I expected. So I go in there. No, the investigation has happened and is closed, and no one's ever spoke to me. No one's ever taken my statement. No one's ever asked me my side of the story. No one's ever said, hey, Watson, what did you send and why? Never. I just walk into this first hearing. I get handed a memo that is my recommendation for a refrad, for removal from full-time active duty, firing me from my AGR job in recruiting. And I'm like, and I recorded this whole conversation too, because it's a dumpster fire. I was like, so you're firing me, recommending me to be fired? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, are you, did you get my side of the story or ask me? No, we had an investigation done, and we ascertained everything we needed to, obtained everything we needed to. I'm like, oh, okay, fuck due process, right?
Right.
Like, yeah, who did that investigation? Because
Well,
they
that's
didn't
a
do a
good
very
point.
good job.
I was about to say who did do the investigation and who ordered it.
So it was ordered by the battalion commander,
and who is the battalion commander?
Jason Mendez, our battalion commander in Kentucky.
Okay.
And I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, so Samples, the recruiting commander who's trying to cover this up, surely she's like called JAG, ran this by JAG, it went over to Kentucky's JAG and filtered down, and they've concocted something against me, and I'm they're trying to fire me. Okay, cool. But I validated from him that, oh no, Samples just picked up the phone and gave him a call direct. Just, hey, Battle, trying to clean something up. Watson released confidential police reports while he was on duty as a police officer and fucked up our sharp investigation. So he needs fired for find some bullshit like online social media misconduct, which is what they did. They recommended me for refran based on online misconduct and tied that back to the KRS statute for prejudice to good order and discipline. So my TDS picked apart that argument in about 30 seconds. He's like, well, that doesn't even apply to you, because if they're saying that you disrupted good order and discipline of a unit in Indiana, the law definition says it has to be a Kentucky National Guard unit, so it wouldn't even apply. And for people that haven't dealt with that type of law before, that's like the way I like to explain it is that's like the disorderly conduct police officer charge. You got an asshole police officer, right? And you say something like, fuck you, pig, fuck the police, and you're yelling, he'll be like, oh, okay, well, fuck you, disorderly conduct, right? You're yelling and being obnoxious, so here's your misdemeanor, I can take you to jail. It's not going to stick in court, right? It's a bullshit charge. And corrupt cops use it all the time if you just, talk back to them, essentially. And that's kind of like prejudice to good order and discipline is kind of like a catch-all, very vague. Oh, well, you're disrupting good order and discipline of the military.
Oh, I know.
That could be anything.
Yeah, I was to say that happens a lot with some of the soldiers that post stuff on our page, or we get stuff too. They try to throw that all-inclusive. We're butthurt that you posted this, or this got posted, so now we're going to try to dig to find out what we can slime you for. So did Colonel Samples give any statement, like any documents, anything stating that you had used on your powers as a police officer to do any of this?
No, and I asked that on tape too, and I got no, it was all done over a phone call, no official email traffic, and then he got sent the screenshot that I took and sent to the first sergeant. I'm like, this one? I showed it to him. I'm like, I'm just gonna validate. I brought it with me. Like, you could have asked me 2 months ago. I'd show you. Like, yeah, I did do that.
Right.
That was it. Well, then I found out. I was like, oh, okay. Well, I have to be guilty, right? Because if Watson didn't do anything wrong, none of the soldiers did.
Right. Then would be nothing to have all those soldiers counseled. You set up to 10, right?
Yeah, I can name 8. I was told it's closer to 15, but I don't know. But what's ridiculous is that's only the ones that she caught. Everybody got that thing. It went around everybody and spread like wildfire, as it should if it's a public record. And it's kind of a warning. Like if I send out a tornado warning and say, hey, the government says that there's a tornado, look out, there's danger here, and everybody shares it, everybody gets in trouble, it's a protective order. A judge is warning. And remember, like, I didn't say it, a judge did, signed his name on it. You're just killing the messenger.
Yeah, I was about to say that you literally had, and this was a screenshot right here that you sent, that went out to everybody, that everybody saw, that pretty much in a nutshell, that, hey, look, guys, be on the lookout for this. And
yeah,
that was it.
Yeah, and the screenshot is descriptive. The screenshot essentially says what the assault paragraph says. That's from the petition. So I sent a picture of the petition paragraph that says, it's the victim saying, hey, here's what happened. And that's a publip record.
Yeah,
it sucks, but it's a public record.
Yeah. It would be it'd be no different than somebody who's got busted on a blotter. If someone got a mugshot in a what is that, the mugshots.com, that one page that's got everybody's mugshot in it, and you happen to see a CSM, which there was one, or you happen to see one of your buddies on there, you're like, oh, fuck, this sucks, man. And then you're like, hey, man, did you hear about so-and-so? So
then we get to this bolo.
I was about to say, yeah, because then at this point, have you filed any IG complaints at this point? Once you got to that,
Yes.
Okay, I was about to say.
Yeah. So I get this, hey, we're gonna fire you without speaking to you, and I'm like, okay, well, this is as fucked up as I thought it was. So let me go ahead and do the right thing and get some IG complaints going. Cross the state lines, CC both states, and I CC relative brigadier generals that are in charge of these individuals, because I want to make them aware. I'm friends with one of them from Indiana, and submit the IG complaints on a Thursday. All right, they go out. Indiana's IG office calls me in like 3 minutes. Like, they're on it. Those guys, I will say, there's some good guys in the story, as there always are. The Indiana IG's office has always done the right thing. I've seen them do the right thing a lot, and they're on the ball. So they called me right away, explained a lot of stuff, and I was like, okay, I was very happy with their response. And then I had made very clear the day that I got handed those documents, and I knew what was going on. I thought that was what was probably going to happen. I made very clear before I left, I said, are you sure you don't want to hear my side of the story and you want to try and fire me? Because we know this is messed up. Made that very clear, because I knew exactly what I was getting ready to do. I was going to go to the media. I was going to blow this up, because I've seen it happen before. And said, yeah, I'm not changing it. You got, that's my decision. Submit your rebuttal. I was like, okay. So the IG complaints get blasted on a Thursday. On a Saturday, my wife, who's been, my heart goes out to her. She has to deal with the stress of me coming home with this on my shoulders every day and still keep the family in the house running. And she's had to deal with it. So my wife types this press release up, kind of all the info as from her position, like, hey, as a spouse, she knows that this bullshit's going on.
That's where we got that. We got that because a lot of individuals were saying, hey, press release, did you see this press release? And we're like, who did it? You know what I mean? And then at this point, Heart, yeah, man, I couldn't even imagine. What was her while this was happening? What was she saying through all? What was her reaction to most of this? I mean, I'm pretty sure she was thinking it was fucked up, just like you did.
Well, I got to come home. And I'm like, hey, babe, I might not have this paycheck, as what they're trying to do. Like, I thought I did my job and shared a public record about somebody a judge thought was dangerous, doing the right thing. And we're going to have to figure this out, because this is our only income. My wife stays home with the kids. She does some things like sell Mary Kay and make some money on the side. But this is my career. Right. Those who don't know that, about National Guard recruiting, you choose to stay in it for a career and do 10, 15 years in it. And I've got 6 years in it, and I got 12 left,
right.
At least. So, this is my whole heart and soul is into recruiting. I still love it to this day. And I come home and I'm like, I'm getting fired for doing the right thing. And she just, what do you do?
Yeah, I know.
What do you say to that?
Exactly.
So she reaches out. She's like, well, I know this is wrong. And what's crazy is she knows this has happened before. And that's the wild part of the story, is this is not a unique situation. Almost the exact same thing happened several years ago under Indiana's last tag, Courtney Carr.
Oh, wow.
And that's all out there. That's right. All out there. So she's like, well, we're gonna have to treat it the same way. So she makes this Facebook post. The day she makes this Facebook post, Brigadier General Justin Mann calls the provost office of the provost marshal, which Indiana does have their own, and has be on the lookout, a bolo put out on me, restricting my access from all Indiana installations, considering me dangerous, because of this Facebook post that my wife had made, telling the truth. and because of a message my mother, Tammy, who works at Camp Atterbury, had sent privately to Elaine Samples on Facebook. And you got to put into that background for a second. My mother, Tammy, retired Indiana State Trooper, years as an investigator, years undercover, working a nice gig at Camp Atterbury. She much more knowledgeable than me about law enforcement and the legal issues than I am. She knew her left and right limit of what she was allowed to say to somebody that she doesn't like. And she sent a message to Elaine Samples completely within her legal ability to do so. There's nothing wrong with it. Well, in between her sending that, which was around Thursday when I sent the IG complaints and CC'd Brigadier General Manon, and my wife releasing this Facebook post, she sends this message to Samples. And they, I'm not going to say they tried to fire her, but it got brought up. And she had a very strong worded conversation with her HR department, and she still has a job. But she told me, she goes, they can't fire me over this. I knew that before I sent her a message. It was just like, I'm disappointed in you. You're a disgrace to women in the military. You know, enjoy your change of command ceremony, right? Like, you're not going to be missed. You know, it was just a shitty.
Yeah. No, I got you. I got you.
So for those two things, I didn't say anything. I'm now considered dangerous and there's a bolo. So Sunday, I'm up there at Camp Atterbury. And I'm like, you know, it is Samples' change of command ceremony today. She is officially going to be removed, and Justin Mann's going to be there. I don't know there's a bolo. Like, I need to get ahead of this. I need to go talk to them and just hash it out in person before I, like, have to go another route. So me and my wife try and get on Camp Atterbury. You know, I'm in my pinks and greens, and I'm like, hey, you know, I'll go be respectful and I'll catch them afterwards and have a conversation. So I get stopped at the gate, and I'm like, oh, here we go. You know, and they're like, there's a problem with your ID. We need you to pull over. And I'm like, great. You know, and I'm at this point, I'm thinking, like, I'm going to get arrested for something. You know, as a cop, like, you're stopping me at the gate, like there's an IDAX violation or something. Like, and I'm thinking they've put out a protective order against me.
Right.
Contact order or something.
Exactly.
And I'm like, oh, God. So I go talk to the gate guards, and they're like, no, General Mann's put out a restriction on you. He said, and if you had any questions, to give him a call. I'm like, oh, perfect. Well, I have his phone number, so let me give Justin a call real quick and get this hashed out. Ignores my phone call, ignores my text message to speak to him. I get turned around at the gate. Monday, the next day, I get a flood of everyone is sending me this bolo poster, kind of laughing and poking fun at me, like, what'd you do? You know, like, this is going up, this is getting posted on the armory doors. And they've blasted out that I'm considered dangerous, to be on the lookout for me. There's my picture from my signature block in my official email. And for those of you who don't know, the existing bolos that the Indiana Army National Guard has, dude, they're like hard convicted felons tipped from the FBI. They're like, you know, this guy's threatening to blow up the recruiter storefronts. Be on the lookout.
Exactly.
You don't fire somebody and put them on a bolo through the provost marshal. You don't do that.
Yeah, exactly. This is some petty shit right here, man.
Yeah. Or if you do, you do it like, hey, Watson may be disgruntled. If he's, you know, you be specific. If he's going to go to JFHQ, restrict his, you know, escort him. He needs to be there on official business and escort him. There's a way to do that properly. But a phone call was made on a Saturday by a one-star general to restrict my access, and it was done incorrectly. And I like to use the analogy, again, another law enforcement analogy, like exigent circumstance. If I kick your door in without a warrant, right, it's because I had an exigent circumstance too. So if I hear a kid yelling or something, like, well, I did something, but then like before I go home, I got to justify like why I did that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. If it's life, limb, or eyesight, like, man, I had to, like, I'm justified because I did this. So I'm like, okay, you put out a bolo on me with no other information. There wasn't there's a process to it, like who to contact, what the incident was that made the bolo exist, who to report it to. None of that was recorded. Everyone's like, it's a weird bolo. Like, it doesn't have, even people in the system seen it, like, this is not regular. So I'm like, okay, well, he's going to have an explanation. This is a misunderstanding, right? I'm not dangerous. Like, I'm still fully instated. You know, they're trying to fire me, but I'm no restricted access in recruiting, no restricted access at my police department. Like, I'm not dangerous. So I send an email directly to him and CC, Christ, the Lord, and everybody else. And I've been ignored to this day as to a reason why that bolo got put out. My police department had to put me on administrative leave because they see this and they're like, oh, well, the government must have some information on why you're dangerous and restricted into all of Indiana's installations. So we got to hear from them before we can let you be a police officer, right?
Right.
So we got to park you for a second. Everyone's been ignored. No explanations have been given.
So even the police department is being ignored by the CG, and everybody, well, anybody connected to this at all, have not given anything to any of the authorities, because isn't there supposed to be like some sort of like question? I mean, I don't understand. I don't know how the law enforcement in your state works, but if you get a notification that someone's got a bolo, then doesn't the Leo agency have, hey, okay, well, all right, we need to know why, we need to know what's up, so that way we can keep an eye on them, blah 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 blah, something.
There's a lot of extra steps that were skipped.
Yeah, I was about to say, okay. And did they go ahead? I'm sorry.
Well, and I will say to that, I was notified today that apparently my chain of command in Kentucky, who hasn't received any explanation either, wants nothing to do with that bolo and does not consider me dangerous. Because that was brought up. I was like, you guys need to figure out what the hell's going on, right? Wouldn't my security manager and my provost marshal down here be concerned if Indiana wasn't allowing me into their installations and I was considered dangerous?
Right, exactly.
Get me an answer. Can't get an answer, but you're fine. We don't think you're dangerous. You're good to go.
Now, Brigadier General Justin Mann is in the Indiana Army National Guard, correct?
Yes.
And what is his position? He's the tag there.
No, he's Joint Chief of Staffs. There's several generals up there. They've got a couple 1-stars up there that are working. I'd have to look up his. I'm pretty sure it's Joint Chief of Staff. So I have to Google it.
So he's like Chief of Staff of the
right.
HQ. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Now at this point, dude, what do you got next? I mean, what this right here? This is an ongoing fucking event. So what's next?
So the ball's in my court now. I've got till the 25th to submit a rebuttal for my recommendation for being removed. So, and that's where I kind of draw this down. If you want to cover up a sexual assault, you don't start firing people, because once someone's fired, they don't have anything to lose.
And that was the whole reason why, literally the whole reason why all you did was share a screenshot. Oh shit, Sergeant Major Yates got busted or got a protective order for fucking sexual assault. I think everybody should know about it, but we're not even talking about the sexual assault at all.
No, we've completely lost focus of, the SHARP program, protecting soldiers, protecting investigations. It's just everybody shut the fuck up. No one's allowed to talk about it. I have friends I've been friends with for over a decade that have not spoke to me and will not speak to me because they've been ordered not to speak to me. Once you put all this out there and you try to destroy somebody's character, it's a very hard thing to navigate. This is something I was talking about the other day. I've been on hiring boards for police agencies. Something like this is in somebody's background. The first thing I think, I'm like, whoa, they did it. They just didn't get caught. So they got out of it somehow. So we probably don't want this guy. Right. So now you put all this out there and damaged my reputation, and slandered me. And I'm just like, who fixes this? Like what do I do? Well, then I started to get educated on the Military Whistleblowers Protection Act, how IG works above the state level at the NGB and the DOD or Department of the Army level. And really it comes down to even roping in a civil process, which is exactly what they did with the Courtney Carr situation. The last tag of Indiana essentially did the same thing. He did get somebody fired from their new job after they blew the whistle on him having an affair. And she hired an attorney that happened to be a retired JAG and took them all to court and was very successful. So that's on the table now because I mean, no one's listening. Everyone's ignoring me.
I was coming to mind that now that if they're intermixing your they think, like I said, they concocted a story with saying that you use unauthorized assets for law enforcement to expose something that was already public. Is there anything on the civil side with law enforcement that you can press charges on? Is there anything that you can?
Well, maybe that's why they're ignoring law enforcement contact, because if you do lie to a law enforcement agency or make a false report, that's a crime.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that was alluding to that. Yeah. Now then, you have the IG. Did the IG pick up any of this at all, like DOD IG or state IG or?
So I've learned some things. One, Indiana has an IG's office that does investigations, and then they have a congressional investigation team above that. Because I called congressman's office, let them know what's going on, state representatives, and if there's soldiers out there that are dealing with something similar, here's the knowledge you need. One, start with your congressman. So if you file a congressional complaint, or it's called a congressional inquiry, you go to your congressman, you say, hey, something fucked up's going on. Here's what I want looked into. And they will push it down through the governor's office, and it'll rain down the chain. And they have to provide a written answer of what happened or why, right? And normally it's better off to do towards the end of an investigation, because if you do it right at, like, if I'd have filed a congressional moment I got flagged, the answer would have been, well, he's under investigation and all of his rights will be preserved and we'll handle it. Right, but because I didn't have anything specific.
Right.
And I learned if you file a congressional in Indiana, the IG's office will not open an IG investigation on something there's already an existing congressional investigation on.
Makes sense.
Because they answer to that team that's above them. So I've started at the IG level. I intend to file this through a congressional inquiry too, to force what the hell happened on to paper, please. Someone put this in writing. Tell me what happened. And then I also learned that if you have IG, they call WBR cases, whistleblower reprisal. So if anyone's ever restricted your access to IG, even perceived to restrict access to IG, or retaliated on you for making a protected communication, which is IG communication, reporting evidence of a sexual assault, anything like that, all of those WBR cases are filtered at the state level and then mandated that they have to go to DOD's IG. They have to for oversight. Also, IG complaints against a general officer have to go through DOD IG. So that's kind of the next step, is DOD IG getting involved and basically coming down and smacking the kids around and saying, hey, this fucked up. Let's have a mediation and fix it. I think that's what's on the table next. But what really needs to happen is Kentucky needs to realize that they were a pawn in this whole thing, and they got lied to. And they need to be like, oh shit, we don't want any part of this. Watson, go back to work, because by God, you still love your job. This is great.
Exactly.
Please go get us more recruits, and we'll let you fight that battle with Indiana, because this is gonna be their round 2 for covering up a sexual assault. In the last 5 years.
And that's another thing too. What do you? Again, I apologize if I provided the audience misconception that the victim was going to come on. How is the victim, man? How is that individual doing?
So if he hears this, or if anybody talks to him, I know he made a new Facebook account, so he's okay. I didn't really know him before personally, but my heart goes out to the guy. I mean, it really does. I mean, he is the victim in this whole story. I'm just collateral damage of the nuclear blast at this point. And I hope he knows that, like, the entire battalion's on his side. Nobody likes the guy that did this. We all have his back. And I don't know if they've tried to sweep him under the... I know he's not in recruiting anymore. I don't know if they've swept him under the rug. I don't know what's happened to him, because, again, it's a hush-hush. No one's allowed to talk to anybody. And I'm sure they've done a good job of separating us by probably telling him that I released all of his confidential records. And that's driven a wedge in between me and him. But I don't have anything against that guy. I'd do anything for him right now. I'd do anything I could, And I'm sorry it's happened to him, and that he's had to go through this. It's a terrible, tragic thing. But I think the right thing to do is get it in the public's eye so that there can be justice. That's what they need. That's what needs to happen.
Yeah, because if anything else, the shit that's been happening to you, Aaron, has actually distracted from the real core issue of a sexual assault by a senior leader, and it's not been looked into. That really is the bigger. I mean, I'm not saying your issue's not big, but that's really the bigger issue, is the cover up of a senior leader committed a sexual assault on a victim, and then everyone's destroying everybody in the peripheral to not talk about it. And that's what I'm just like, my mind is fucking blown on this, man.
Yeah, it goes against literally everything we learn, and all of the sharp briefs and PowerPoints we get just inundated with constantly is see something, say something, see something, say something. Well, you know, even if it's not said in the right way, like you have good intentions, right? I know I didn't do anything wrong. Hindsight 2020, you know, maybe I could have reported it differently, you know, printed out the whole thing, sent it in an official email, which I did after the fact anyway. No one said that was wrong.
Right.
But like, you've now damaged the entire culture and made an example out of guys doing the right thing, and now everybody's fucking scared to death. They're like, I'm not gonna say shit. Look, they fired Watson. Like, he did the right thing. He just spoke up.
Yeah. I
have had half the battalion reach out to me at both states and say, brother, we got your back. Like, we know this is jacked up. Like, keep doing what you're doing. And whether I get fired at this point now, hey, you know what? I did the right thing.
Yeah,
I know
exactly.
I did the right thing.
Exactly.
And it is what it is.
No, I feel you, man. It's fucking tough too, because then that really was, that's in the back of my mind too. I mean, with the stuff that you're going through, Aaron, but just the victim, man. Like, hey, if you're listening, we got your back too. Cause this right here, if anything else, Sergeant Major Yates is still in position, correct?
I don't know. I know he's not operating and recruiting anymore. I don't know if he's been discharged or not. There were some other rumors about investigations. I don't know. I have no idea what the outcome of that was. But that's another point. You know, you say, hey, you're not allowed to talk about a restricted investigation that we already have going on. How would you know?
Right.
If you're just reporting it, they're like, hey, check this out. I have this evidence. This, I think, happened. All they can say is, hey, yeah, we're tracking, and we got an investigation going.
Yeah, don't talk about it, even though it's completely public.
Shut up.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though it's public, shut up.
Exactly. Oh, fuck. Right. Aaron, thank you so much for hanging out, man. This is, and again, for the audience on Facebook, as soon as this broadcast is done, it's going to get posted on Facebook on both pages anyway. So it's not like, it's not like it's not going to be seen. But again, dude, thank you so much for coming on, man. This right here is, fuck, man. This is just a fucked up deal all around.
It is. Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate everything you guys do. And I think this is going to get the ball rolling a little bit. And
I hope. I hope.
It's about, you know, I had a guy tell me the other day, the only thing evil needs to prevail is for good men to do nothing.
Exactly.
So there's some good men. I need to end on this. I love this fucking organization. I have no more joy in my life, other than my wife and kids, than recruiting people into the National Guard and changing their lives, you know, for a good way. It's the most empowering thing I could ever do. I love it with my entire soul. I want to stay here for an entire career and make this organization better. I absolutely I'm a diehard recruiter, and I love it. And I know there's people above me there are many good players. They just haven't spoke up yet.
Exactly. God, that's a perfect way to end it. Again, Staff Sergeant Aaron Watson, thanks again, bro, for hanging out with us. We're going to take a break right quick. Me and Aaron are going to shoot the shit some more, and then so enjoy some tunes, and we'll be right back. So shots.
Yeah. found a new trap, but I don't feel so hip in these shoes that I'm shaking in. I think that I wanna fly, but I got way too high. One more step and I'm taking it. If I waste away, don't keep me down, 'cause I'm already 6 feet underground. on my face when I'm talking to you.
There's a lot of tough talk on Twitter, but there's not a lot of real talk.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Oh, man. Ooh, doggy. Well, that was a fucking story isn't fucking insane, man. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yep, still down on Facebook, still down on the the 2 Facebook pages. I don't know why they're not playing. I don't know. Again, if you guys and gals are listening to us on the other apps, the 2 YouTube pages, and of course on X, we're streaming pretty strong on there. I will be posting the interview on both Facebook pages anyway, so it's not like you missed out. I understand that there's some interactive stuff that we always do while we're online, but unfortunately, that ain't gonna work. So again, sorry about that. Let's go over some freaking housekeeping. What do we got going on? What's the next dealio we got? We have. Look at the calendar. Oh, so CQ's still out and about. So he may, we might see what videos he has on there. He might have some stuff and some sneak peek stuff we have. On Wednesday, of course, we have the Smoke Pit with the Sorrents, TZ, and Radar. And then, of course, Sergeant's Time with myself and Spanky is we have David Starn, Spencer Higgs, and Robert Duran coming on. These guys used, I'm impressed. That, I should say they aren't. Well, 2 of them are Marines, so I guess I can say I'm impressed. But I'm just kidding. It's going to be a feel-good story where these 3 veterans used their GI Bill to win a gold medal at Skills USA's a national post-secondary competition in engineering technology. I can't wait because some of the stuff that they're doing is going to be awesome. It is what they design helps vets out, and I'm sorry, they were just shooting the breeze and say, hey, you want to share this? I'm like, nah, screw that. You want to come on the pod? That would be a little bit better if you guys just came on and shoot the shit. So they'll be joining us in Sergeant's Time this Friday co-op or the Friday FTX. Obviously, is not going to happen. CQ's still gone, so we will more than likely have. I don't know what we're going to have. Probably going to have another share from Space Force WTF Moments, or we might have, we haven't had any good talks with or any good pods. Let me take that back. They're always a good pod with them. We've not heard from, there we go. I don't want to be mean, from the Ashes Radio. Haven't heard from them for a minute. So we might throw them on. And then, of course, Saturday is a day off for Saturday co-ops with Nemo and the crew. And then Sunday with WTF Nation Radio's sports bar with the actual King Smith. And what do you hear? What do you say? The coach. The coach was making some Goodfellas references, and I had to watch it. I watched Goodfellas after that. So there we go. That was good stuff. I always like watching old mob films. Anyway, so yeah. So anytime I hear, what do you hear? What do you say? Or something like that, I just, I think I'll watch Goodfellas, and I just did a review. So make sure you share, like, and follow on the streams that are streaming, I guess. Again, apologies for the streams not working on Facebook. I don't know what's going on. Who knows? Probably, like I said, because we put sexual assault in the title. And I think Facebook might have went, ooh, you can't do that. So we'll probably get like a notice after the stream ends. That's usually how it works. So anyways, but we are on 2 other platforms, on YouTube. So you can go to WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments. And of course on the X app. We've been doing pretty good on the X app. I think it's not bad. We've had a constant stream and some reliable fans and followers and customers coming on, and of course the chat works on the X app, so I can see your chats. So again, Make sure you share, like, and follow all of them. And I guess that's it. Man, 2000 Eastern Standard Time. Guests come on at 9 p.m. I should say, I got that wrong. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The guest will come on at 9 p.m. If we don't have a guest, we'll have, usually an hour and a half, 2-hour show. So, again, also keep an eye out for the Olympics, because I know I don't want to jump into I don't want to take away the sports bars thunder, but they do pretty good coverage. So if you guys saw their show about the Olympics, then all that, then hey, all I know is go USA. That's just me. Be proud. Hey, no problem, Simon. No problem. So with that, y'all have a good night, and see you.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Sometimes when I look at, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, I think it's W.T.F. Army or something.
The voice of U.S. Army. WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Misdeeds, from the chow hall to the PT grind. You won't believe the things you'll find. Drill sergeant's rage, a fiery storm. Private tensions far from the norm in the shadows where the secrets lie. Army W.T.F. you can't deny. Army W, the stories unfold. In the heart of the chaos, the truth is told. From the field to the base, the legends grow. Army W, the force, the madness we know. A Humvee stuck in the mud so deep. A midnight rain, no time for sleep. It moves straight like gold in hand. The strangest sights in this foreign land. Drill sergeant's rage, a fiery storm. Private antics far from the norm in the shadows where the secrets lie. Army W.T.F. you can't deny. Army W, the stories unfold. In the heart of the chaos, the truth is told. From the field to the base, the legends grow. Army W, the force, the madness we know. Mud so deep, a midnight rain, no time for sleep. It moves straight like gold in hand. The strangest sights in this foreign land. Drill sergeant's rage, a fiery storm. Private antics far from the norm in the shadows where the secrets lie. Army W.T.F. you can't deny. Army W, the stories unfold. In the heart of the chaos, the truth is told. From the field to the base, the legends grow. Army W, the force, the madness we know. In the ranks where the wildlings roam, every soldier's got a tale of their own. From the absurd to the downright strange. Army W, the force, it never will change. So raise a glass to the tales untold. In the Army's world, where the brave and bold live the moments that make us say, Army W, the force, every single day.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
The horse, with beauty unsurpassed, strength immeasurable, and grace unlike any other, still remains humble enough to carry a man upon its back. When a service member or first responder takes an oath, he or she has mentally and physically committed themselves with self-sacrifice, From the front lines abroad to the very streets you live on in America, they protect. This oath is non-refundable and it is lifelong. Facing unimaginable dangers and unseen scars, these grounds are a place to recover and face any challenges head-on. As veterans and first responders ourselves, we know that battle all too well. From a simple talk with a friend on horseback to an entire debrief in the barn, this sanctuary has seen recovery take place time and time again. No hour of life is wasted that is spent in a saddle. The way we approach change isn't a new phenomenon. This animal has been with humans over 5,000 years. If you've ever been around a horse for long enough, you'll feel that thing, that electric trust. In that moment, nothing else is in your mind. When they turn into you, it's like the world disappears. We harness that moment to build skills off of. Repurposing requires flexibility, adaptability, and the willingness to challenge assumptions and conventional thinking. This approach can be applied to many areas in life, including business, education, and personal growth. To ride a horse is to fly without wings. This lesson and skills learned at War Horses will help reintegrate back into daily life. You'll learn coping mechanisms, improve communication skills, trust, and confidence that will help reduce symptoms of anxiety and depression. These tools can be used every day to navigate life and take on many challenges. This may involve practicing mindfulness, setting boundaries, improving communication with loved ones. Transitioning back to society is hard on your own. And when you're at War Horses, you're family. And families solve problems together.
Сьогодні ти знову написала, що тобі страшно. І я знову попрошу. Ні, сьогодні я накажу відставити боятись. Погладь за мене Бармалея і спокійно лягай спати. До речі, як там Урусі в школі? Скажи тату берегти серце і обійняти маму. І взагалі, давайте усміхатися. Вашій силі краса. Допомагайте один одному і виручайте. Цілуйте любимих. Святкуйте свою свободу. Ви за нашими спинами. Ось такі теж надійні, не ховаєтеся, прикриваєте нас із тилу. Зробіть так, щоб ми пишалися вами. І ми повернемось. Повернемось і будемо жити.